Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to show you how to order your next Honda online. You can see all you need to do is go to your favorite search engine and type in Honda build and price, and this is what you're going to find, the Honda car configurator. So we're going to go right here and you're going to see the different models that are available. You can scroll down like this and find whatever it is you may want to buy. It may not be the very first number of vehicles you see on the screen, and you can even still order some 2025 models, as you can see down here, depending on when you watch this video and what you're wanting to order. But we're going to go up here and we're going to focus on the 2026 Honda HR-V. And here are your different trim levels, and you can see that you have all of the different information by trim level if you want to know what is different from one to the next. So a very nice, convenient bit of information here, depending on what it is you want to know about and what you want to spend, or if you're just curious about the variations from one trim level to the next. So you will see all of that information, and then you need to choose your trim level and click Build. We're going to go with the Sport trim level right here, and here's how we're going to start. Now you'll see that you have the same engine option available. This is going to be across all models for those who may not already know. The 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that makes 158 horsepower, 138 pounds-feet of torque. But you can go 2-wheel drive, which would be front-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, and that's going to be across all trim levels. So we're going to start right here, and we're going to select all-wheel drive. So not too much to deal with right there. Now, when we go to design, this is where you're going to first of all choose your exterior color. And new for 2026, we're going to have Boost Blue available for the first time for the HR-V. This is only available on the Sport trim level, so if this is a color you want, this is what you're going to have to do. So we're going to choose that, and then depending on what you go with, we'll go back here real quick and show you a couple of different things. Obviously, we don't have to do too much to choose our interior color because it's black. And then our wheels. One wheel option available for the Sport trim level, but it is the 18-inch wheel, a new design and size for 2026. And then we move on to where we have a few more things to choose from. Now you're going to have your packages here as far as what you may want. You're going to have some different details you can go through. So if you're wondering, well, what should I go with? What is the protection package, for example? Well, here is what that's going to be, and it's going to tell you that this is available on the Sport trim level. It's going to tell you how much it's going to cost, $330 right there, and then you can see all of the details up here that make that very easy to know what you may or may not want to add. So we'll just throw a few things in just for the pure fun of it, and depending on what you do, I wanted to show you this. If there's going to be a change, it's not only going to tell you that there's going to be a configuration change, but also the change in price. So we're going to accept that. So I think you have a pretty good idea of how that works. And what about accessories? Well, depending on what you might want, once again, the same process here. If you want to see what this is, if it's going to make a change, once again, we're going to see that happen. If you want to see the details of what each option is going to offer and how much it costs, we're going to have the same thing here. You can even click Add down here if you want to. It just depends on what you want, but I think you'll likely get the idea. And you can do this with every single Honda model this way. It makes things a lot easier. Now, we not only have the exterior options, we also have the interior options. So if you want to really customize your HR-V or a CR-V or a Passport or an Accord, whatever it is, this is how you do it, because you may not find exactly what you want at the dealership, or they may not even be able to find it at another dealership and be able to bring that in. So here are some of those other options depending on what it is you may want to have, and then we'll see what happens. Now, we're going to click right here, and once again, configuration change. I think you get the idea of what's going on. Finally, when it comes to electronics, not a whole lot going on there where that's concerned, but you can get an engine block heater for your Honda HR-V if that's something you want. For those of you who are not aware of what that is, an engine block heater, when it gets really cold outside, say below 25 degrees Fahrenheit, you can actually use this to keep your engine oil warm. But here's a little tip for you if this is something you want to do. Get a timer and plug into the timer, and then you can turn it on about 2 hours before you're ready to actually start your vehicle and leave. That way you don't waste a lot of extra money keeping the oil warm when it really doesn't need to be. I say about 2 hours of time is what you need before you're going to go somewhere, and that will take care of business for you. Just a neat little tip that some people may not think about when it comes to that kind of thing. But here's what we're going to have. We're going to go here to our summary, and you will see everything about your build as far as the different accessories and options that you added and your total price. And then you have a couple of different options. You can search inventory to see if there's a dealership somewhere that has exactly what you want, or you can just request a quote right here. Now, you can also do this at your local Honda dealership. If you want to, you can have somebody on the sales staff walk you through the process. So I hope this has been helpful to somebody. If there is something else along these lines that you want to see me do, tell me down in the comment section, and I will make that happen for you. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I'll see you next time.